Alors, bonsoir, good evening to our regular public meeting à notre séance ordinaire publique. This is the first time since the pandemic that we're having a meeting and we have to wear our masks. So, c'est la première fois depuis la pandémie qu'on doit avoir nos masques avec la réunion, tandis que c'est une réunion publique. So, j'inviterai les membres du Conseil et les employés, si vous devez parler dans le micro, puis parler fort, pour que tout le monde puisse vous entendre. Alors, je vous invite à vous lever debout pour le moment, pour l'hymne national. Please stand up for the national anthem, please. Moment of reflection for tonight. It's a special thought for our neighbors in Zone 5 where they don't have a good control, a good grasp of the outbreak. Alors, le moment de réflexion, c'est pour nos voisins de la Zone 5. Ils ont un peu de défi à maîtriser l'éclosion. I think for our region is the better way we can help them and to show empathy and compassion to them and make sure that folks from the Zone 5 are not painted orange when they come here, if they come for essential needs. Donc, j'invite la population de démontrer de l'empathie et de la compassion pour nos voisins de la Zone 5. S'assurer qu'ils ne soient pas peinturés d'une peinture orange et qu'on démontre vraiment cet élan de compassion. Ils en ont besoin à ce moment ici. Now, our first presentation, and it's an honor for me to make this presentation. Unfortunately, it should have been in different circumstances, more of a festive outing, but with the pandemic, it is what it is. It is our Freeman of the City, and tonight we have Mr. Ronald Melvin. So the Freeman of the City Award is the highest title possible for any citizen of our community. It has been awarded in the past to many outstanding citizens of our city, province, and country. The status of Freeman has become an honorary title reserved to recognize individuals who have made significant contributions to our community. As a means of recognizing the dedication of individuals to the development of Bathurst, the city established a custom of granting Freeman Awards in 1950. A Freeman of the City of Bathurst must have demonstrated leadership above and beyond the norm for a consistent and prolonged period of time and contributed to the improvement of the quality of life in the city of Bathurst. Un citoyen ou une citoyenne d'honneur de la ville de Bathurst doit avoir démontré pendant longtemps et de façon constante des qualités de chef dépassant la norme et la contribution à l'amélioration de la qualité de vie dans la ville de Bathurst. I would like to thank our selection committee for taking this time to assist in the selection of this year's nominee, Kathy Granbeck, Peter Asif, Deputy Mayor Penny Anderson, and Councillor Lee Stever. Well, that was back in the day. Yeah, today's Deputy Mayor Lee Stever and Councillor Penny Anderson. I would invite Mr. Melvin to go to the podium, please, if you can. Yeah. I'll be reading your introduction, Mr. Melvin. Just want to make sure that, because we'll be broadcasting on Facebook and on the web, so I want to make sure that the camera have people know who we're talking about tonight.
And at the same time, he'll leave that on, and he's going to
Sorry.
guide you.
No problem, no problem. If we didn't have this distance, it would go smoother.
Yeah.
So Mr. Ronald Ron Frederick Melvin was born December 25th, 1933 in St. John, New Brunswick. He married Alma Gauguin in April 7, 1955. In the early 60s, Ron moved his family to Bathurst and has been a resident here for close to 60 years. Ron and Alma had 5 children: Donna, Karen, Glenn, Terry, and Tina. 4 grandchildren: Ashley, Sarah, Drew, and Sydney, and 1 great-grandchild, Callie. Ron joined the Royal Canadian Air Force and served from 1953 to 1956. Upon his return to Bathurst, Ron was employed by Domtar, a building supply company where he worked from 1957 to 1986. In 1986, Ron opened his own business, Rendor Sales, specializing in windows and doors, where he remained until his retirement. Ron Melvin significantly contributed to the improvement of the quality of life in the city of Bathurst by actively participating in many organizations from the early 60s to the present day. Bathurst GCs. In 1964, Ron became a member of the Bathurst GCs, which was a community organization promoting leadership and youth involvement in their community. The focus at the time involved the operation of a tourist bureau, youth driving skills, and fundraising. In 1965, Ron was named Bathurst GC of the Year, at which time he also became chair of the Bathurst Tourist Bureau. Ron was Bathurst GC president from 1968 to 1969. With the Bathurst Minor Hockey. In 1979, Ron joined the Bathurst Minor Hockey and began coaching house league teams as well as provincial teams. He coached for many years and in 1991 became a council member of the Bathurst Minor Hockey. In 1992, he assumed the role of president of minor hockey and continued coaching as well. With the Gloucester Kings Midget AAA, during his tenure with Bathurst Minor Hockey, Ron was also active with the Gloucester Kings Midget AAA hockey team. This team competed with a higher level of hockey in northeast New Brunswick. Ron was president of that organization from 1989 to 1995. The New Brunswick Air Cadet Midget AAA. In addition to coaching and being active with Bathurst Minor Hockey and the Gloucester Kings Midget AAA, Ron was first vice president of the New Brunswick Air Canada Midget AAA Hockey League from 1993 to 1995. With the Bathurst Navy League, Ron became active in the Bathurst Navy League in 2004, which the federal government and the Royal Canadian Legion support. The Bathurst Navy League worked with the Shalar Sea Cadet in the areas of leadership and fundraising projects. Ron served as Bathurst Navy League president from 2006 to 2008. During that time, new and updated equipment such as band instruments and sports equipment were acquired through fundraisers organized by Ron. As president, Ron was actively involved and assisted in improving the financial security of the league. In 2007, Ron took on the role of North Vice President and was responsible for all the branches in northern New Brunswick. This involved working with all other Sea Cadets Corps in the district. With the Holy Family Church, Ron became a member of the Holy Family Church Councils from 1998 to 2002. He was also a member of the Holy Family Church Scout Chalet and was co-chair of the Renovation Committee. Ron remained an active member for several years. With Bathurst Minor Baseball, Ron became a member of the Bathurst Minor Baseball and coached from 1979 to 1982. With the Royal Canadian Legion, Ron joined the Herman G. Good VC Legion Branch 18 in 1989 and continues to be an active member to this present day. Throughout his service with the Royal Canadian Legion, he has held many positions on the executive in Bathurst and at the district level. He has always been involved with the annual Poppy campaign as well as Remembrance Day services. In 2000, Ron became a member of the branch executive House Chair. In 2002, Ron was named second vice president. As second vice president, he was the ceremonial chairperson. This involved forming committees and delegation responsibilities in the preparation of Remembrance Day services. In addition to these duties, Ron continued with the role of House Chair and visited hospitalized veterans. In 2003, Ron was elected first vice president. As first vice president, Ron was Poppy campaign chair. Committees were formed to take care of all aspects of the campaign, from ordering stock, taking inventory, managing the finances, to preparing the poppy trays for delivery to local businesses. In 2004, Ron was elected branch president. In this role, he was responsible to oversee all aspects of the Herman G. Good VC Branch 18 Royal Canadian Legion. In 2003, Ron was elected as branch secretary-treasurer of the executive. In this role, he was responsible for secretarial duties as well as management of the annual budget and the allocation of branch funds. With the Royal Canadian Legion District in 2002, Ron was elected district deputy commander. That role included preparation of the agenda for the district meetings. In 2011, he was named district secretary, and in 2012, he was elected district secretary-treasurer. In this capacity, he was responsible to prepare meeting agendas, record meeting minutes, and was responsible to collect capital taxes from each branch. He was also responsible for accounts payable and paid all expenses on behalf of the districts. He reported the financial positions to all branches and prepared financial income statements from review and approval. As district commander from 2005 and 2008, Ron would visit branches within the district and host the annual district meeting as well as attend New Brunswick command meetings in Fredericton. While performing all of those responsibilities of these various executive positions, Ron continued to be active in many other facets of the Legion that included sitting on the branch budget committee and the finance budget committee. He worked at fundraisers such as bingo and assumed the role of co-chair. He was ceremonial and Remembrance Day chair, Poppy campaign chair, and a member of the War Museum. So with the awards and recognition, Mr. Melvin, in 1965, Bathurst GC of the Year. In 1996, Moosehead Roast and Toastman of the Hour Award. In 2006, life membership at Royal Canadian Legion. In 2007 and 2008, New Brunswick Top Navy League Member Award for service and dedication to the New Brunswick Sea Cadets. In 2017, the Meritorious Service Award. 2017, the Legionnaire of the Year Award. In 2019, the 50-year service pin with the Royal Canadian Legion. As is very evident from the numerous organizations Ron has been involved in throughout his lifetime, he has most definitely made a significant contribution to our community. He has clearly demonstrated long-standing service and leadership and has contributed over and above to the improvement of the quality of life of our citizens and youth in the city of Bathurst. His contributions have been in many areas, including business, community, religion, and sports. He emphasized what a freeman of the city should be. He has been active and has dedicated extensive hours of his time for almost 60 years in our beautiful city. He continued to serve our city to the present day, even at the young age of 86. Or 87?
Yes.
87, sorry. We were ready in March for this. So we are very proud to name Ronald Frederick Melvin as Freeman of the City of Bathurst.
Thank you, sir.
If you wish to say a few words.
I wish to extend to you, Your Worship, Mayor Fonzie, to the Council. Excuse me. My sincere appreciation of this prestigious award. To have the honor of joining the past recipients of this award is something I hold dearly, and I thank you. To family and friends in attendance and those watching online for your support over the years. Thank you, I will cherish this forever. Lastly, thank you to my late wife, Elma. Excuse me. For her full support over the years together, as this would have been possible without you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Eventually, this pandemic will be over, Mr. Melvin. Okay. And I think council at the time of the moment that the pandemic will be over, will do a proper recognition to you, sir. It's unfortunate that this is how we got to do it, public health wise. But I promise I probably won't be there as mayor. But I promise that we're going to do a special evening for your contribution. I invite you, Mr. Melvin, in front for a picture. Okay, thank you again. We're going to take a break for, in order to, first group to leave and to let the second group come in.
And we're on individually serviced lots with single-family homes. That is the definition of an R1 zone. That's not what we're under right now, but that is the true definition of an R1 zone. So we just want to ensure it's done that way. We are not against the development of the area. We want to make it clear. We are not against the development. We just want to ensure that it's going to be compatible with what's already there and conforms to the bylaws that are already existing. I have further concerns of a potential development in our neighborhood. My further concerns are access to my property. Any development that goes down there, I have a legal registered right-of-way that goes to our property, and any development down there has to respect that I still have to get to my property, and it has to connect to my driveway. If a development goes down there and does not connect to my driveway, then I have legal right to continue to use my right-of-way as it is on there. If a plan shows that my right-of-way is outside of an area where I cannot use the public road to get to my property, then it's really not appropriate planning to allow that type of development to occur without addressing the easement issue ahead of time. That should have been addressed, that should be addressed, by the Planning Advisory Committee when it may be an issue. It should be done at the beginning of the process, not at the end of the process. I also have concerns about making, and I said all of this in last year's meeting. If you review it, I've got a lot of the same issues. Last year I closed my remarks saying it should be R1. You need an environmental protection to the area, and any road should be properly engineered. I've got the same concerns today. In 2017, the Climate Change Adaptation Plan was presented. Some of the councillors and staff were part of that presentation back then. And it identifies what should be done in this type of development. Excuse me, I'll look for the particular things. And that was actually one of the conditions last year when they were talking about doing an integrated development. It was condition 6, that the plan had to meet the sea level rise zone requirement. Well, the sea level zone requirement is found within that plan. And when you look at that, and you can do an interactive map and you look at it, the way it's drawn right now, or the way it shows right now, and it reads in that zoning map, is currently there's a 5% chance that the waterfront lots will flood this year. Doesn't necessarily mean under 10 feet of water. It just means flooding, where your basements will flood, your land will flood, and you may not get access to your property for whatever period of time that may be. So that's this year. That increases to 100% chance probability by 2100. So this has to be a responsible development. And if you use the interactive map, you'll see what I'm telling you. By 2100, the whole property will be flooded, as the remnant piece from where the gravel, it drops down, and the whole planned development will be flooded 50% of the time every year. So every second year it will flood by 2100. So I just want to know that you're going to incorporate some of the measures that you have identified in that plan, in the climate change plan. I mean, this plan also addresses this as an environmentally sensitive area. So this is already identified as environmentally sensitive. So we want to make sure we protect it. And you protect it by the measures that you put in there. There's 3 categories of measures to protect it. The first is by zoning. And the way you do it is you zone to protect the most vulnerable spots, which are those nearest the water. And it's identified there how to do that. The second one is through making sure you have things like net zero drainage incorporated into your plan. That's not strictly a road issue, that's a whole property issue. You have to make sure that you're incorporating something to accommodate all the water that is there when you replace it with asphalt and roofs and everything else. So that water has to go somewhere. You have to identify where you're going to put it. And the third thing is individual and site specific, where you're looking at homes. You're basically saying no basements on the homes or on stilts or whatever. So you've got to adapt all of those things. You can't just sort of selectively pick one or the other and hope that's going to accommodate the problem. And you do what you can. You might not be able to do everything, but you have to at least look at it and see what can be incorporated and incorporate what you can to protect existing homeowners and future homeowners for properties that are down there. So Again, we're not saying you cannot do anything down there. We're just saying do it responsibly, make sure it's done in a way that protects those that are there now and those that will be there in the future, and protects the taxpayers from having to go in and pay remediation fees for whatever damage might occur. Anyway, yeah, I don't have too much more to say other than I'm not against the development, but I just would like to see it done responsibly if it ever occurs. R1 zoning is what it should be because that's the definition in the plans. When you look at our own definitions in our zoning bylaws in our municipal plan, that's what is meant to be there. That's what's built right there now. The Community Planning Act says anytime you add to a subdivision, extend a road in a subdivision, that's considered one. So whatever comes in, it's all part of what's already there now, and you have to meet the standard of what's there now. It's an urban road, it's single-family homes, it's connected to water and sewage, it should be R1. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Dempsey. Any questions for Mr. Dempsey? No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
OK, moving forward. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce qu'il y a des points à ajouter ou à enlever?
No, none.
All right. Councillor Anderson, for the adoption of the agenda, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the agenda be approved as presented. Je propose que l'ordre du jour soit approuvé comme présenté.
Merci. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer la motion? Conseiller Andus, merci. Prêt pour la question? Tous en faveur disent oui. Contre? Motion adoptée. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce qu'il y a des déclarations de conflit d'intérêt?
Excuse. Oui, on a deux déclarations de conflit d'intérêts, 10.4, 10.12.1. We have two declarations of conflict of interest, 10.4 and 10.12.1.
Okay, thank you. Duly noted. Adoptions of minute for the regular public meeting held on September 21, 2020. L'approbation du procès-verbal de la séance ordinaire publique tenue le 21 septembre 2020. Conseiller Daigle, s'il vous plaît. Votre micro.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Alors, je propose que le procès-verbal de la séance ordinaire publique datée du 21 septembre 2020 soit approuvé comme distribué. I move that the minutes of the irregular public meeting dated September 21st, 2020 be approved as circulated.
Thank you, sir. I need a seconder. Councillor Chamberlain, thank you. Ready for a question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. To the special public meeting held on October 5, 2020, la séance extraordinaire publique tenue le 5 octobre 2020. Conseiller Ouellette, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the minutes of the special public meeting dated October 5th, 2020 be approved as circulated.
En français aussi.
Hein?
En français.
Excuse. Je propose que le procès-verbal de la séance extraordinaire publique datée du 5 octobre 2020 soit approuvé comme distribué.
Merci, conseiller Ouellette. Quelqu'un peut appuyer la motion? Conseillère Lantaigne, merci. Prêt pour la question? Tous en faveur disent oui.
Oui.
Contre? Motion adoptée. Madame Saint-Laurent, on a reçu une délégation de pétition.
Oui, nous avons reçu une pétition.
OK, très bien. Conseiller Honda, s'il vous plaît, la motion pour accepter la pétition.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the petition received from the residents of Queen Elizabeth Drive be accepted. Je propose que la pétition reçue des résidentes et résidents de la promenade Queen Elizabeth soit acceptée.
Merci. Do I have a second to the motion? Councillor Anderson, thank you. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're going to have an update on this item later on in the meeting, towards the end of the meeting. Going to the section Finance. On est dans la section Finance, accounts payable totals for the month of September 2020. Le total des comptes fournisseurs pour le mois de septembre, pardon, 2020. Conseillère Chamberlain, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the accounts payable totals excluding payroll for the month of September 2020 be approved as follows. Operating, $740,355. Capital, $182,452. Total of $1,998,000. $123. Je propose que le compte fournisseur excluant les salaires pour le mois de septembre 2020 soit approuvé comme indiqué ci-dessous. Opération 740 355 $, capital 182 452 pour un total de 1 998 123 $.
Merci. Do I have a second to the motion? Conseiller Daigle, thank you. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew?
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. Thank you. Under the Capital Fund, Fond Capital, Saint Isidore Asphalt received a payment of $104,748, 104,748 for Connolly Avenue. Roy Consultants received a payment of $22,770, 22,770 for St. Anne Street, Rue Sainte-Anne. Other autres, 54,933, 54,933, include engineering fees and other miscellaneous, include des frais d'ingénierie et autres frais variés, for a total of $182,452, 182,452. In the operating fund, Fonds opérationnel, the Chaleur Regional Service Commission, Commission des services régionaux chaleur, received a payment of $23,386, 23,386, for refuse, sludge, and recyclables, pour des ordures, but des recyclables. Four Seasons Sports received a payment of $36,237, 36,237 for line painting, marquage des lignes. Medavie Blue Cross Croix Bleu Medavie received a payment of $140,932 for monthly benefits, 140,932 pour bénéfices mensuels pour 2 mois. Paciolan received a payment of $15,000, 15,000 for ticketing system, système de billetterie. NV Power Energy NB received a payment of $106,268, 106,268 for electricity, électricité. Other recurring payments are autres paiements, $418,533, 418,533, for a total of $740,355, 740,355. Under payroll, $1,075,315 for a four pay period. Total des salaires, $1,075,315, 4 périodes de paie, for a total of $1,998,123, 1,998,123. And that's my report. Merci, Monsieur le Maire.
Merci, M. McLaughlin. Pour le prochain item, j'inviterai le maire adjoint, Deputy Mayor Stever. I'm retracting myself on the zoning on the Franklin, not because I'm in a conflict of interest. I have no conflict of interest, but however, we have citizens who try to throw stuff and see what sticks on the wall, and it's being an embarrassment to myself or to my employer. So for that reason, I've asked Deputy Mayor Lee Stever to replace me, but to voice an opposition, it has to stick. And this is not a conflict of interest, but it does create a situation with my employer, which is unfair for me. And unfortunately, the media just picks up on it.
All right, under the proposed municipal plan and zoning bylaw amendments for 1578 Franklin Avenue, do we have anyone in attendance who would like to object or support the project? Quelqu'un de l'audience qui veut opposer ou appuyer le projet? Do we have anyone? Going once? Pardon? You can step up and give your name and state your opposition or your support.
I'm Brian McCall. I live in the Melanson subdivision. So Franklin Avenue is near the park that they want to develop. So the only objection from the community that I've talked to was that they kind of object to the rezoning. There's no second entrance to the subdivision right now. If it gets a population density too high with daycare or apartment building or whatever, then, you know, it puts at risk the other people in the subdivision who are mostly elderly or younger. And so I guess that's the objection to whatever the rezoning is, I guess. You know. But like I have no other objection myself for the rezoning. You know, new development would be good as long as it's done in a orderly fashion. Like town housing is one suggestion. And another suggestion, you know, is something that a second entrance at the same time be on the plans that are approved by council from whatever, you know, civil engineer is doing it. That's all I have to say.
Great, thank you very much. Madame Saint-Laurent, do we have any written objections or support?
Two written objections were received. Nous avons reçu 2 lettres d'objection.
Can I ask you to read them, please?
The first one is from Ms. Rhea Godin, dated October 14th, 2020. Dear Mr. McLaughlin, further to my letter dated March 24th, 2020, and forwarded to you by email on May 27, 2020, I wish to inform you and City Council that my family and I are still opposed to the rezoning of 1578 Franklin Avenue from Parkland to R3. As stated in my previous letter, we are very concerned about the traffic that proposed commercial daycare would create and which would be traveling directly in front of my house. From conversations with others, there seems to be some confusion about exactly where anyone, for whatever reason, would be accessing the park land and the city is describing as 1578 Franklin. In the event that you or anyone on council is unaware of the layout of the Melanson subdivision, please note that there is presently only one entry and exit in the entire subdivision, and that is located on the corner of King Avenue and Melanson Street. Franklin Avenue is in part dirt road, which the city blocks off for part of the year. And the paved portion is a street located furthest from the entry location to the subdivision. Franklin Avenue does not have its own access to the subdivision, but uses the one and only entry and exit mentioned above. Also, the sketch or drawing of the proposed daycare site that Bimbo provided on July 20, 2020, City Council meeting shows that the daycare intends to have their entrance on Furlot Avenue. Another area of concern that the sketch shows is that it seems that unpaved portion of Franklin Avenue is also being disposed of in any potential sale. As mentioned, this road is blocked off by the city for part of the year and is open for the winter months, but the residents in the subdivision do require this road in the winter months, as the hills on Melanson can be difficult to navigate in winter months. If anything, the city should look into paving this road and leaving it open year-round for residents at the back of the subdivision. My family and I also do not want to lose our parkland. Although there is no playground equipment presently there, we still use the parkland. It's an entry point to the walking trails, currently a walking trail that goes right through the proposed site and maintained by the subdivision residents. There's a basketball court, and that residents have been maintaining in the winter. It's a place for the children to slide and play. It's also nice to visually have the green space and the big green trees with land that line the parkland. When we bought our house 12 years ago, we sought a location that had an access to a green space and never imagined the city would be deemed it as surplus land and consider rezoning it for commercial daycare. That is presently zoned for 123 children, not including the after-school program that offer the Cité de l'Amitié, which has an additional 60 spots according to the Government of New Brunswick website. It would be appreciated that before the city goes any further with consideration to rezone the parkland, or for whatever reason, if further evaluation could be done, such as the traffic, to do a traffic study of the current traffic in the subdivision as compared to the traffic at Bimbo's current location, and an environmental study to see that if the parkland is even suitable for anyone to build on. According to some residents that have lived in the subdivision for many years, the parkland is all backfilled. Before rezoning the land for anything, the city should determine if the land is even suitable to have a permanent structure built on it. In closing, once again, I am still opposed to the rezoning of parkland to R3. Due to the increased traffic, it would generate the loss of the unpaved portion of Franklin Avenue and the loss of the green space that is currently used by my family in the majority of our subdivision. I'm also confused with all the spaces in City of Bathurst currently available, whether it be owned by the city or someone else, that parkland in the small subdivision needs to be rezoned for anything. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Rhea Godin. Second letter was received October 16th from Mr. Wesley Kerr. We oppose Bimbo Daycare for the following reasons. Change of zoning. Our neighborhood has only one exit, and Bimbo will use area that should be used for second exit to Obey Court. Bimbo does not bus children, which will create excessive traffic as parents have to drive their children. Green space is an important part of our environment, taking away more of the land that was designated for our park. Yours truly, Wesley Kerr.
Thank you, Madame Serrano. So under restrictions and conditions, recommendations of the Planning Advisory Committee. Mr. Pettigrew? Mr. McLaughlin?
Yes, Your Worship, I would like to share the recommendation from the Planning Advisory Committee. As required under the Code Act, during a rezoning, the Planning Advisory Committee have to make recommendation to City Council. And the Planning Advisory Committee met on June 16 and reviewed this application, the municipal plan and zoning bylaw amendments for that location. And the Planning Advisory Committee also reviewed pictures, a concept plan from the Bimbo, and the exact area to be rezoned. And at the end of the day, the Planning Advisory Committee wished to recommend 5 conditions to be attached to the zoning bylaw, which are the following. All access will need to be approved by the city engineer. Second, bus traffic will need to follow guidelines from the City of Bathurst Engineer Department, Education Department, and School District. Third, the development will need to comply with all other municipal and provincial requirements. 4, that proper access to the existing walking and biking trail be reserved and accessible for the public at all times. And the last one, the developer is encouraged to keep as much green space as possible to blend with the existing character of the public park. Comme je viens de le mentionner, c'est durant le processus de rezonage, le comité de urbanisme doit faire des recommandations sur l'application. Et puis, le comité s'est réuni le 16 juin 2020. Et puis, ils ont regardé le développement. Ils ont reçu un plan de concept de la garderie Bimbo. Ils ont regardé aussi plusieurs aspects de ce développement proposé. Et puis, le comité recommande au Conseil d'inclure dans le règlement de zonage, tel qu'il est permis sous la loi sur l'urbanisme, les 5 articles suivants. Soit que tout accès devra être approuvé par l'ingénieur municipal de la ville de Bathurst. 2. Toute circulation en autobus devra être conforme aux lignes directrices du service d'ingénierie de la ville de Bathurst, du ministère de l'Éducation et du district scolaire. 3. Le développement devra respecter toutes les exigences municipales et provinciales. 4. Qu'un accès approprié aux sentiers pédestres et de vélos existants doit être réservé et accessible par le public en tout temps. Et la dernière, le promoteur est encouragé à conserver autant d'espaces verts que possible pour assurer une harmonie avec l'aspect existant du parc public. C'est plus ou moins les recommandations que le comité d'urbanisme recommande, et en plus aussi le conseil municipal. Vous avez aussi l'opportunité d'additionner des conditions, si vous le désirez, telles qui est permis dans la loi sur l'urbanisme.
Merci, Monsieur McLaughlin. Under restrictions and conditions, to accept, Councillor Lanting.
I move that Council accept the recommendation of the Planning Advisory Committee dated June 16, 2020, related relating to an amendment to the future land use map municipal plan and the zoning bylaw map zoning bylaw for a portion of the properties located at 1578 Franklin Avenue, having PID number 20239885 and 20517694. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the zoning bylaw amendment is subject to the following term and conditions. All access will need to be approved by the City of Bathurst engineer. Bus traffic will need to follow guidelines from the City of Bathurst Engineering Department, Department of Education, and the school districts. The component complies with all other municipal and provincial requirements, that proper access to the existing walking and biking trails be reserved and accessible for the public at all times. The developer is encouraged to keep as much green space as possible to blend with the existing character of the public park. Donc, en français, je propose que le Conseil accepte la recommandation du Comité consultatif en matière d'urbanisme en date du 16 juin 2020, visant une modification au plan d'occupation du sol, plan municipal, et une modification à la carte de zonage arrêté de zonage pour une portion des propriétés situées au 1578 avenue Franklin et portant le NID 20239885 et 20517694. Il est résolu ce qui suit. L'amendement de l'arrêté de zonage est sujet aux conditions et selon les modalités suivantes. Tous les accès devront être approuvés par l'ingénieur municipal de la ville de Bathurst. Toute circulation en autobus devra être conforme aux lignes directrices du service d'ingénierie de la ville de Bathurst, du ministère de l'Éducation et des districts scolaires. Les composantes respectent à toutes les exigences municipales et provinciales, qu'un accès approprié aux sentiers pédestres et de vélos existants doit être réservé et accessible par le public en tout temps. Le promoteur est encouragé à conserver autant d'espaces verts que possible pour assurer une harmonie avec l'aspect existant du parc public.
Merci, Conseiller Lantaigne. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Willett, are we ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary? Motion passed. Under the first reading of bylaw 2020-047, Councillor Anderson, please.
I move that bylaw 2020,
Pardon? Excuse me. Oh, it's Z. Okay, sorry.
good?
Continue. Yes.
I move that bylaw 2020-04Z entitled A Bylaw to Amend Bylaw 2008-01 entitled The City of Bathurst Zoning Bylaw be read for the first time by title. Je propose que l'arrêté 2020-04Z intitulé Arrêté pour modifier l'arrêté municipal de 00801 intitulé Arrêté de zonage de la ville de Bathurst soit passé en première lecture par titre.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Do I have a seconder? Conseiller Daigle, are we ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Motion passed. The next reading is the first reading of bylaw 2020-04M. Conseiller Daigle, s'il vous plaît.
Merci. Là, je propose l'arrêté 2020-04M intitulé Un arrêté visant à modifier l'arrêté 2006-01 intitulé Arrêté portant adoption du plan municipal de la cité de Bathurst soit passé en première lecture par titre. I move that the bylaw 2020-04M entitled A Bylaw to Amend Bylaw number 2006-01 entitled The City of Bathurst Municipal Plan Bylaw be read for the first time by title.
Thank you, Councillor Daigle. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Hondas, are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passed. Mr. Abernathy, could I get you to get the mayor, please? We're done.
Okay, moving. 10.1, draft resolutions, résolution provisoire, renouvellement de l'application de logiciel et l'interface Versadex PIMITS. Les services de police et de la réparation régionale des services d'incendie. Renewal of the Versadex PIMITS application software interfaces for police services and regional fire dispatch. Councillor Willett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that members of council authorize a payment of $72,094 payable to the Department of Public Safety for Versadex application software and interface. Je propose que les membres du Conseil autorisent un paiement au montant de 72 094 payable au ministère de la Sécurité publique pour le logiciel d'application et interface Versadex.
OK, merci bien. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer la motion? Conseiller Stever, merci. Prêt pour la question? Tous en faveur disent oui.
Oui.
Contre? Motion adoptée. Chef Boudreau, vous voulez ajouter là-dessus?
Merci, Monsieur le Maire, Mayor and Council. Yes, this is an annual cost that we pay every year. It's for the PIMITS information management system. It controls our network security, email, internet, and the management of users and antivirus. It's a reoccurring cost every year, and we pay it to public safety.
All right, thank you. Moving to the 10.2, request to transfer funds, la demande de transfert des fonds. Conseiller Honda, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Your Worship. Whereas Schiller Green Trails presented a project at the Committee of the Whole meetings dated September 14, 2020, and whereas the project is to complete the connection of the walking cycling trail between Bathurst and Beresford, and whereas Schiller Green Trails made application for a grant through the Trails Infrastructure Fund, and whereas Schiller Green Trails is seeking the authorization from members of council to release up to a maximum of $5,000 to Schiller Green Trails account towards this project. Be it resolved that members of council approve to release a maximum of $5,000 from the Schiller Green Trail account towards this project upon approval of funding from Trails Infrastructure Fund. Attendu que Sentier vers Chaleur a présenté un projet à la réunion comité plénier le 14 septembre 2020 et attendu que le projet vise à compléter le raccordement du sentier pédestre et cyclable entre Bathurst et Beresford et attendu que Sentier vers Chaleur a présenté une demande de subvention dans le cadre du Fonds d'infrastructure des sentiers et attendu que Sentier vers Chaleur demande aux membres du Conseil l'autorisation de libérer jusqu'à concurrence de $5 000 du compte Sentier vers Chaleur pour ce projet. Il est résolu que les membres du Conseil approuvent le versement d'un maximum de $5 000 du compte Sentier vers Chaleur à ce projet après approbation du financement provenant des fonds d'infrastructure des sentiers.
Merci, M. Honda. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer la résolution? Conseiller Daigle, merci. Prêt pour la question? Tous en faveur disent oui.
Oui.
Contre? Motion adoptée. I would ask Mr. Abernathy et conseiller Daigle de discuter de ce projet-là. Conseiller Daigle veut prendre le lead. Je suis en regardant le non-verbal des yeux. OK.
Fait que c'est un projet qu'on avait apporté à la dernière réunion publique. Au fait, c'est pour finir une connexion. On a déjà, la ville de Bathurst a déjà travaillé fort pour faire un bout de sentier à partir de la ville jusqu'au Peters River. La ville de Beresford City a travaillé fort aussi pour faire son bout aller jusqu'à Peters River. Il reste malheureusement une zone qui est entre les deux limites de la ville. Fait que là, on essaie de chercher des fonds un peu partout. La ville de Bathurst, ville de Beresford, CSR, etc. D'un développeur, des dons, puis de Sentier vers Chaleur pour pouvoir compléter ce projet. Fait que,
ça, c'est la partie du trajet qui est dans No Man's Land, qui n'est pas ni à la ville de Bathurst ni à Beresford.
C'est ça. Fait
les lignes du territoire ne sont pas nécessairement des lignes droites.
Ouais.
OK, merci. Going to the next one, agreement for Forest Green Solutions Limited. Entente de Forêt Green Solutions Limited. Conseiller Chamberlain, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose, attendu que Forest Green Solutions Limited maintient un site web de service pour appuyer les forces policières à fournir des solutions conformes aux critères de la GRC pour permettre d'effectuer la vérification des antécédents en ligne. Attendu que la force policière de Bathurst souhaite mettre en œuvre des solutions conformes aux critères de la GRC pour leur permettre d'effectuer la vérification d'antécédents en ligne à l'aide des solutions fournies par Forest Green Solutions Limited. Il est donc résolu que les membres du Conseil approuvent l'entente entre la Ville de Bathurst et Forest Green Solutions Limited et que le maire et la greffière municipale soient autorisés à signer tous les documents connexes au nom de la Ville. I move whereas Forest Green Solutions Limited maintains a web-based services website to support police services in delivering RCMP-compliant solution to enable online police background checks, and whereas the Bathurst Police Force desires to implement RCMP-compliant solutions to enable online police background checks related to solutions provided by Forest Green Solutions Limited. Therefore, be it resolved that members of council approve the agreement between the City of Bathurst and Forest Green Solutions Limited, and that the mayor and the city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Councillor Chamberlain. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Hondas. Thank you. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Chief Boudreau.
Yes, merci, Mayor de Conseil. Yes, this is a signed a master service agreement between Forest Green Solutions and, of course, the Bathurst City Police and the City of Bathurst. We've been exploring this avenue to have an online application process for criminal record checks for the citizens of Bathurst. This will be done on our website via a link. There's no cost whatsoever to the city. Our tariff of services charges will not change, but we have agreed to because it's going to be an online verification. There will be an embedded price of $9.95 for the online application process done by Forest Green Solutions. And this enables them to verify the identity of the person making the online criminal record check. So with that, we're going to be most likely having a template of 30 web-based crime templates that they're going to be using. They'll be using our Versadex system to extract data. And from that data, they'll be giving us dashboard statistics for the citizens of the area related to accidents at certain intersections, offenses committed in the city. So we're very excited about embarking with an agreement with Forest Green Solutions and seeing what they can provide on a web-based solutions for the city of Bathurst. If there's any questions, I'd be willing to answer them. S'il y a des questions, je suis prêt à répondre.
Questions from council? No? Good. Good news. Improved services. And doesn't cost anything, right?
It does not, no. The only thing I'd like to probably mention to council is that there is one thing we were realizing is that if you want an expedited criminal record check, we've researched it around the province, it will be $100. And that is because some people, they need it immediately. And as you all understand, that to get that done, I have to basically stop somebody from doing their normal day of work, and they have to provide it. So we've researched it with other agencies across Canada, and that is the going rate if you want it right away. And sometimes for employment purposes, or you're out of the country, you need it pronto. So that was probably the only change in that agreement.
Okay, thank you. Next one, Subdivision Development Agreement, l'entente de développement de lotissement, conseiller Steve s'ouvre.
Maire Fangémy,
Oh.
on a un conflit d'intérêts.
Oh, yes, sorry. J'étais trop vite.
Thank you, Your Worship.
There you go.
I hereby move that council approve the subdivision development agreement with Family Duncan and Geraldine Young subdivision, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city. Je propose que le Conseil approuve l'entente de développement de lotissement de la famille Duncan, Geraldine Young subdivision, et que le maire, la greffière municipale soit autorisé à signer tous les documents commerce au nom de la ville.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Conseiller Daigle, merci. Ready for your question? All those in favor say aye. Okay, we're going to go one by one. Conseiller Stever.
Yes, we,
Conseiller Chaberlin.
No.
Conseiller Hondas. Conseiller Willett. Conseiller Degg. Conseiller Anderson. Okay, motion defeated. Can somebody get Conseiller Lanting, s'il vous plaît? Thank you. Proposal P001-20, Enterprise Resource Planning Solution. Appel d'offres P001-20, Solution de planification des ressources de l'organisation. Conseillère Lanting, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. I move that proposal P001-20 for Enterprise Resources Planning Software be awarded to Town Suite Municipal Software for implementation costs of $293,000 plus operational fees. Donc, je propose que l'appel d'offres P001-20 pour un logiciel de solution de planification des ressources d'entreprise soit attribué à Town Suite Municipal Software pour les coûts d'implémentation au montant de $293 000 plus les frais de fonctionnement.
Merci. Est-ce que quelqu'un va appuyer la motion? Conseiller Ouellette, merci. Puis pour la question. Tous en faveur disent oui. Contre? Motion adoptée. Mr. Pettigrew. Madame Gauvin.
So an enterprise resource software is an integrated platform. Donc, une solution intégrée, c'est vraiment un système financier intégré qui va connecter avec tous les systèmes parallèles. Donc, the city currently uses a financial system that is mostly a standalone and has many parallel systems that are really not integrated and has been using it for about 30 years. Donc, la municipalité utilise un système financier qui est vraiment utilisé. Il fait seulement les finances, puis quelques petites choses, des work orders, des choses comme ça, mais tous les systèmes récréatifs, planning, sont tous des systèmes parallèles, donc c'est aucunement intégré. Donc, ce nouveau système-là qui va être livré par Town Suite va avoir 3 phases majeures. This new software that will be delivered by Town Suite will have 3 major phases. So the first one would be to migrate and replace the current financial software, which is the core and the heart of the system. The second would be to integrate the parallel systems with recreational and planning, and the other ones that we have, the small ones. But the third one is where it's really a new service. It will provide online citizen access. So, for example, if you want to see your utility billing, if you want to pay invoices online, if you want to see your consumption history, do bookings online, and also do building permits online. So all of that will be a new service to citizens. Donc, les 3 phases vont être premièrement de migrer le système financier principalement. Le deuxième va être intégrer les systèmes parallèles, mais le troisième est vraiment un nouveau service pour les citoyens qui va venir. Donc, l'accès en ligne par la création d'un compte, qui vont pouvoir faire des réservations en ligne, payer et voir leurs factures d'utilité, voir leur consommation d'eau, faire des applications pour des permis de construction, tout ça. Donc ça va être vraiment une nouvelle phase qui va vraiment aider. This will not only be new services to city and the citizens and the staff, but will also do a lot of efficiencies throughout the work because it's so integrated. Donc ça va vraiment viser plein d'efficiences en plus du nouveau service. Merci.
C'est bien. Question pour Mme Gauvin? Non? C'est parfait. C'est going to the snow plowing, tender T009-20 snow plowing city streets, l'appel d'offre T009-20, déneigement des voies de circulation de la ville, conseillère Anderson, it's page 84.
Yep. Thank you, Your Worship. I move that tender T009-20 for snow plowing city streets be awarded as follows. Routes 1 and 1.1, which is downtown, awarded to Mainville Trucking for $26,000 a year, 3-year term at $78,000. Route 4, West St. Peter, to Route 3 to West Yawhall to Chaleur Lines Limited. Amount of $27,950 yearly for a 3-year term of $83,850. Route 4 West to St. Peter to Roy Excavation for $22,100 yearly, 3-year term $66,300. Route 7 West Queen Squire Green to Roy Excavation, $22,100 yearly, 3-year term of $66,300. Route 8 East Miramichi Bridge and Karen to J&J Branch Contracting, yearly rate of $21,450, 3-year term of $64,350. Route 9, location East Rough Waters and St. Mary's to B Daily Excavation in the amount of $18,850 yearly, 3-year term of $56,550 for a total yearly rate of $138,450 and total 3-year term of $415,350. This is plus HST and based on the minimum guarantee. Je propose que suite à l'appel d'offres T00920 concernant les déneigements des voies de circulation de la ville, les contrats soient accordés comme suit. Route 1 puis 1.1, centre-ville à Mainville Trucking pour $26 000, période 3 ans, $78 000. Route 3, West Yawhall au Chaleur Lines Limited pour $27 950, période de 3 ans, $83 850. Route 4, West St. Peter à Roy Excavation pour $22 100, période de 3 ans, $66 300. Route 7, West Queen Squire Green à Roy Excavation, $22 100, période de 3 ans, $66 300. Route 8, Est Miramichi Bridge puis Karen à J&J Branch Contracting pour $21 450, période de 3 ans, $64 350. Route 9, Est Rough Waters puis St. Mary's au B Daily Excavation pour $18 850, période de 3 ans, $56 550. Total annuel, $138 450, période de 3 ans total, $415 350, plus TVH et cela un garantie minimale.
Merci, Mme Anderson. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer la motion? Conseillère Chevalier, merci. Pour la question, tous en faveur disent oui. Oui. Contre? Motion adoptée. M. Pettigrew? Mr. Urbanati?
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a contract which is always in place. It's tendered usually every 5 years, but we decided to drop it down to every 3 years for this one. Alors, c'est un contrat qui est normalement en place pour 5 ans, mais cette fois, on l'a descendu à 3 ans pour cette année avec la fluctuation, avec les prix de l'essence. Puis, on pense que ce serait meilleur d'aller avec 3 ans au lieu de 5. So you'll notice that the plow route 5 was not bid on. That one has been retendered, and we're hoping to close on that next week. Alors, la route numéro 5 n'a pas été, il n'y a pas eu de bidder. Alors, ça va être un nouveau contrat soumis la semaine prochaine. They're for a minimum, all of a minimum 130 hours every year.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Urbanati. Moving forward to the purchase of an asphalt spreader, sur l'achat d'un épandeur d'asphalte. Conseiller Daigle, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Alors, je propose que les membres du Conseil approuvent l'achat d'un épandeur d'asphalte Lee-Boy 8616 usagé de Doucette Landscaping pour $34 000 plus taxes. I move that the members of council approve the purchase of a used Lee-Boy 8616 asphalt spreader from Doucette Landscaping for $34,000 plus tax.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Willett, thank you. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew to Mr. Abinati. Mr. Abinati.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a piece of equipment that we've rented several times over the last few years. We've made the decision to go ahead and make the purchase. We've purchased it from the folks we were renting it from in order to take advantage of the rent-to-own discount on this piece of equipment. So this will allow us to do utility cuts, hopefully larger road repairs in the future that are obviously popping up more often now. Alors, c'est un morceau d'équipement on a fait un rental, comment ça s'appelle ça? Location, oui, excuse. C'est un équipement qu'on a fait en location pendant plusieurs années, alors on a décidé d'aller puis faire l'achat pour essayer de sauver ces zones-là chaque année. Ça va nous laisser prendre l'avantage de faire nos propres travaux sur des qualités puis des plus gros projets de réparation de route. Merci.
Merci, Monsieur Abernathy. Monsieur Pettigrew, for the explanations of the next 4 resolutions, do we wait at the end? We're going to do at the end?
Yes, we'll wait till the end. They're all under the same explanation.
Okay, doke. So moving to the first one, transfer from the utility operating fund to the utility capital reserve fund, the sewage lift station 1 and 8. Councillor Willett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Canada-New Brunswick Building Canada Fund for the construction of 2 sewage lift stations, and whereas under the agreement, the replacement reverse fund shall be maintained for the future replacement of various items, which amount has been determined to be $13,500 annually. Now therefore be it resolved that an amount of $13,500 be transferred from the utility operating fund to the utility capital reserve fund. Entendu que la Ville de Bathurst a reçu un montant de fonds Chantier Canada-Nouveau-Brunswick pour la construction de 2 stations de relevage, et attendu que, en vertu de l'entente de fonds de réserve de remplacement de 13 500 $ sera maintenu annuellement pour le remplacement futur de divers équipements, qu'il soit donc résolu qu'un montant de 13 500 $ soit transféré du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout du fonds capital.
Merci, M. Willett. Est-ce que quelqu'un va appuyer la motion? Conseiller Seaver, merci. Pour la question, tous en faveur disent oui.
Oui.
Contre. Motion adoptée. Moving forward to the transfer from Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Capital Reserve Fund, expansion of the water treatment plant. So, le transfert du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout du fonds capital, l'agrandissement de l'usine de traitement d'eau. Conseiller Honda, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Your Worship. Whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Canada-New Brunswick Building Canada Fund for a major upgrade and expansion of the water treatment plant, and whereas under the agreement, a replacement reserve fund shall be maintained for future replacement of various items, which amount has been determined to be $17,000 annually. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the amount of $17,000 be transferred from the Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Capital Reserve Fund. Attendu que la Ville de Bathurst a reçu un montant du Fonds Chantier Canada-Nouveau-Brunswick pour un important projet de modernisation et d'agrandissement à l'usine de traitement d'eau, et que, attendu qu'en vertu de l'entente, un fonds réserve de remplacement de 17 000 $ sera maintenu annuellement pour le remplacement futur de divers équipements, qu'il soit donc résolu qu'un montant de 17 000 soit transféré du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et égout du fonds capital.
Merci, M. Hondas. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer la motion? Conseiller Anderson, merci. Prêt pour la question? Tous en faveur disent oui.
Oui.
Contre. Motion adoptée. Next one, transfer from the Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Capital Reserve Fund, U-Haul and Queen Elizabeth Drives. Transfert du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout du fonds capital, promenade U-Haul et Queen Elizabeth. Conseillère Chamberlain, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, M. le maire. Je propose, attendu que la Ville de Bathurst a reçu des fonds dans le cadre du Fonds de l'infrastructure municipale rurale pour le branchement des résidences le long des promenades U-Haul et Queen Elizabeth au réseau de distribution d'eau de la Ville ainsi qu'au réseau d'égout. Et, attendu que selon les dispositions de l'entente, un fonds de réserve de remplacement doit être prévu pour couvrir les coûts associés au remplacement de certains biens dont la vie économique est relativement courte et dont le montant annuel est fixé à 10 000 $. qu'il soit donc résolu qu'un montant de 10 000 soit transféré du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout de fonds capital. J'arrête pas de tomber. I move whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Municipal Rural Infrastructure Fund for the connection of residents of the city water distribution system and the wastewater treatment system for U-Haul and Queen Elizabeth Drive. And whereas under the agreement, a replacement reserve fund shall be maintained for future replacement of various short life items, which amount has been determined to be $10,000 annually. Now therefore be it resolved that an amount of $10,000 be transferred from the Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Capital Reserve Fund.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Conseil Anders, merci. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Last one. Transfer from Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Capital Reserve Fund, Bayshore and Karen Drives. Transfert du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout du fonds capital, promenade Bayshore et Karen. Conseiller Steve, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, M. le maire. Attendu que la ville...
Votre micro, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, M. le maire. Attendu que la ville de Bathurst a reçu des fonds dans le cadre des fonds d'infrastructure municipale rurale pour le branchement des résidences le long de la promenade Bayshore et Caron au réseau de distribution d'eau de la ville ainsi que le réseau d'égout, et attendu que, selon la disposition de l'entente, un fonds de réserve de remplacement doit être prévu pour couvrir les coûts associés en remplacement de certains biens dont la vie économique est relativement courte et donc le montant annuel a été fixé à 6 000 $. Qu'il soit donc résolu qu'un montant de 6 000 $ soit transféré du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout du fonds capital. I move that whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Municipal Rural Infrastructure Fund for the connection of residents in the city water distribution system and the wastewater treatment system for Bayshore and Karen Drive, and whereas under the agreement, a replacement reserve fund shall be maintained for future replacement of various short life items, which amount has been determined to be $6,000 annually. Now therefore be resolved that an amount of $6,000 be transferred from Utility Operating Fund to the Utility Capital Reserve Fund.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Ouellette, merci. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew? Madame Gauvin?
Donc, comme vous avez pu entendre, la Ville a reçu des fonds au courant des années, des fonds fédéraux. Partie de cette entente-là, il fallait mettre l'argent de côté pour faire le maintien de ces installations-là dans ces 4 différents fonds-là. Donc, la balance pour la station de relevage numéro 1 et 8 est maintenant avec le 13 500 $ à 92 805. Le nouveau solde pour l'agrandissement d'usine des traitements d'eau avec le 17 000 additionnel est maintenant à 171 571. Celui pour la promenade U-Haul et Queen Elizabeth avec le 10 000 additionnel est maintenant 91 731. Et la promenade Bayshore et Karen Drive est maintenant à 108 000 avec le 6 000 additionnel qu'on a aujourd'hui. Donc, as mentioned, this is part of the agreement for the federal funding that was received. So every year we put money aside to be able to maintain our capital installations. So the new balance for the sewage lift station 1 and 8 into the reserve is now $92,805. Expansion of water treatment plant is now $171,571. The Yahal and Queen Elizabeth Drive reserve is now at $91,700, and Bayshore and Karen Drive is now at $108,000.
Thank you, Madame Gauvin. Moving forward to the item discussed in camera. The first item, we have a conflict of interest, so I'll ask Madame Nating to leave the room for a moment. So the first item discussed in camera is the Duncan Family and Geraldine Young Subdivision Phase 2. Councillor Seaver, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I hereby move that council members approve the letter of understanding between Mr. David Duncan Young and the City of Bathurst as discussed in camera on October 5th, 2020 pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city. Je propose que les membres du Conseil approuvent la lettre d'entente entre la Ville de Bathurst et M. David Duncan Young, comme discuté à huis clos le 5 octobre 2020, en vertu de l'article 68 de la Loi sur la gouvernance locale, et que le maire, la greffière municipale, soit autorisé à signer tous les documents connexes au nom de la Ville.
Merci. Do we have a second to the motion? Councillor Willett, thank you. Ready for the question? We're going to go individually. Conseiller Seaver, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, yes.
Conseiller Chambardin?
No.
Conseiller Hondas? No. Conseiller Willett? Conseiller Degg? Conseiller Anderson? No. Well, I have to break the vote, so it's a yes. Motion carried. Could somebody get Madame Lanting, s'il vous plaît?
Monsieur Hondas.
Now, the next two ones are with Residence Prestige. We got at 605 Charles Street, Phase 2, and we have Phase 3. So for Phase 2, Councillor Anderson, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that council members approve the letter of understanding between Residence Prestige, Inc. and the City of Bathurst as discussed in camera on October 5th, 2020, pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city. Je propose que les membres du Conseil approuvent la lettre d'entente entre la Ville de Bathurst et Residence Prestige, Inc., comme discuté en huis clos le 5 octobre 2020, en vertu de l'article 68 de la Loi sur la gouvernance locale, et que le maire et le greffier municipal soient autorisés à signer tous les documents connexes au nom de la Ville.
Merci, Mme Anderson. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un papier? Conseiller Chamberlain, merci. Pour répondre à la question. Tous en faveur disent oui. Contre. Motion adoptée. Conseiller Degg, la phase 3 de Résidence Prestige, 605 Charles Street, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que les membres du Conseil approuvent la lettre d'entente entre la Ville de Bathurst et la Résidence Prestige, Inc., comme discuté à huis clos le 5 octobre 2020, en vertu de l'article 68 de la Loi sur la gouvernance locale, et que le maire et la greffière municipale soient autorisés à signer tous les documents connexes au nom de la Ville. I move that council members approve the letter of understanding between Residence Prestige, Inc. and the City of Bathurst as discussed in camera on October 5th, 2020, pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Lanting, merci. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Then the last one, it is 666-194 New Brunswick, Inc., Southern Comfort Villa, Phase 2, 1394 King Avenue. So 666-194 New Brunswick, Inc., Southern Comfort Villa, Phase 2, 1394 l'Avenue King. Conseiller Willett, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that council members approve the letter of understanding between 666-194 New Brunswick, Inc., Southern Comfort Villa, and the City of Bathurst as discussed in camera on October 5th, 2020, pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act, and that the mayor and the city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city. Je propose que les membres du Conseil approuvent la lettre d'entente entre la Ville de Bathurst et 66694 NB Inc., Southern Comfort Villa, comme discuté à huis clos le 5 octobre 2020, en vertu de l'article 68 de la Loi sur la gouvernance locale, et que le maire et la greffière municipale soient autorisés à signer tous les documents connexes au nom de la Ville.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Councillor Seaver, thank you. Ready for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Madame Saint-Laurent, new business, les affaires nouvelles?
Aucune affaire nouvelle, no new business.
On a the old business, des affaires courantes, une mise à jour de la promenade Queen Elizabeth, an update of Queen Elizabeth Drive. Would that be Chief Boudreau?
Chief Woodrow and Engineering Department.
Okay, Mr. Benatti and Chief Boudreau, you got the mic.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. Per your request of yourselves on the committee, we took a look at what was going on down there. We were actually just finishing up a speed survey of the area at the time that the presentation was made. The following day, we had the data ready to go. But if you'll, in your packages, you can have a look at the two separate spots. I'll kind of explain them a little bit as it's a little jumbled, but basically the section of Queen Elizabeth between Golden Sands and the marina, if you look at the 85th percentile speed, so basically when you're determining what a speed limit should be on a street, the 85th percentile speed is usually around the number that you should be looking at. That means 85% of people are either at or below that speed while driving. And then anyone above that and much above that are basically breaking the law and need to be dealt with by the police. But if you look at the 85th percentile on that section, it's actually 84.5% below 50 kilometers an hour. Therefore, we didn't take a look at the number of driveways or anything like that because it is a straight section of road. It's a surefire candidate for a 50 kilometer an hour street. There's not really any other recommendation that would be made from the Transportation Association of Canada on that street. However, there are some outliers. There are a few people, two vehicles. This is for a month, by the way. This is pretty much the whole month of September. Two vehicles traveling between 110 and 120 kilometers an hour, and one vehicle actually traveling 140 kilometers an hour. Now, those are obviously outliers in the grand scheme of things. But if you look at the bulk of the data, 85% of vehicles are under 50 kilometers an hour. If we look at the other section now, which is the section between Queen Elizabeth and the city limits, you would basically look at one spot that we took, a random spot in the middle on a straight stretch that's there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to slow down or speed up in that area. So in the same manner, if you look at the 85th percentile in that section, the 85th percentile speed is actually 60 kilometers an hour. What that means is if we were to do a speed study in the area, taking only the geometry of the street, driver characteristics of the street, the speed limit recommendation would be 60 kilometers an hour. It is 50 kilometers an hour right now, and that's where we feel it should be with the geometry of the street. There are several options to do some traffic calming in the area. However, there is a process to follow in order to do that. Most traffic calming measures include speed humps, choking of the road, adding painted lines, things like that. The only real reasonable traffic calming measure that could be implemented there would be a speed hump or multiple speed humps in different areas. In order to go ahead with that, there would have to be a lot of community involvement. You'd have to do basically a survey of all the residents, hear objections. A committee would need to be put together. That's all the process that's followed in Transportation Association of Canada. Obviously, a lot of people that live on that street would be opposed to that. Some would be for it if they're looking for the speed hump. So that's what I can speak to as far as the speed situation. If you do look at the Transportation Association of Canada's recommendations on what to do, they do not recommend a reduction in speed limit. It's multiple studies have shown that there's less than a 1% reduction in speed whenever moving speed limits from 50 down to 40 or anything like that. And the end result ends up being an added burden on the police force. So that's certainly not a recommendation of the Transportation Association of Canada. It's certainly something we can do if that were your wishes. You wish to do it. However, it's certainly not recommended. That's all. So So the second part of the request was the walking track along the side of Queen Elizabeth. We had a look. We put an estimate together for it. It's quite expensive. We're talking $300,000 plus to get that done. There's also a space issue at various areas. There are lift stations along the street. So that would be, it wouldn't be a straight walking track all the way. There would have to be some jogs in it. It wouldn't be a great situation, but it's certainly doable. However, it's at a cost of over $300,000. So that's pretty much my part.
Speed bumps, they can be temporary, right? You remove it for a winter. Doesn't have to be asphalt.
They can be, yeah, they can be. But those ones tend to be more not violent, I guess you'd say, but you really have to slow down to 5 or 10 kilometers an hour to go over them. If I were a resident there, I certainly wouldn't want that, but that would be something that would have to go through the process, community engagement, workshops, all kinds of things to make sure that we're not, putting more people, making more people more angry than happy at the end of the day, yeah.
Okay.
But it is an option, yeah.
Questions for Mr. Abinadi before we go to Chief Boudreau? No? Okay, Chief Boudreau?
Yes, I'd like to thank the engineering department for the provided data. That always is very helpful in trying to plan an operational or strategic response to complaints from the citizens. We were approached with the petition and the numerous complaints about that certain area. We've increased enforcement in that area with 3 officers. Basically, the last 6 weeks, they've dished out about 236 tickets. They've handled totally for the city 34 complaints of traffic nature. About 4 of them are from the Queen Elizabeth area. One of my officers has reached out to some of them that have signed the petition, trying to find out exactly what we could do to work together to try to find a solution. We're going to keep this going until basically the cold snap arrives. Usually that's what we tend to do. We usually find that once it gets out of the way, the colder season arrives, it seems to die down a little bit. But I can assure you that it's part of our strategic plan. People take highway safety very seriously. It's something that they all see, that they all can easily report with a cell phone. We want to encourage the residents to continue reporting to the police, and we'll do the utmost to continue providing statistics to the area. We'll try to put a little bit more on Twitter and Facebook so that the citizens can see what's going on. I know we posted some speed limits that some of our officers had taken. For example, 90 kilometers on Bridge Street on the 50, or a certain percentage of speed on Yall Hall or St. Peter's Avenue. So we'll continue working with the people of Yall Hall and Queen Elizabeth and other parts of the city to make sure that the roads are safe. I'll take any questions.
Questions or comments for Chief Boudreau? So, Chief, you're going to be still working with the citizens of that area of the city that made the presentation. So I gather that, okay?
Yeah.
On your end, Mr. Abinadi, what's the next step?
If council would like us to go ahead with the community engagement to look at traffic calming measures, we can do that. However, it's basically today I'm giving a recommendation that reducing the speed limit is something we would not recommend. But if it was council's wish for us to look into further traffic calming measures, we could go down that road as well.
Well, I think that's part of what the group of citizens asked us to look further into. So I would say if there's an opposition around the table, to pursue that with the citizens, and I guess when you'll have more of a concrete proposal to bring it back to council, because obviously it will be budget. It will have to be budget. So.
No problem.
Okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay with that, you guys? Okay, good. Madame Saint-Laurent, great work, by the way, to intervene very diligently with the citizens on this item, Chief Boudreau and Mr. Abinadi. Any committee report?
None, aucun.
Any departmental update?
None, aucun.
All right, I got 2 proclamations to read. First one is the World Polio Day. C'est la journée Rotary, journée mondiale contre polio, October 24, 2020. Le 24 octobre 2020, Tandis que le Rotary est un réseau mondial d'hommes et de femmes qui se rassemblent et passent à l'action pour un changement durable dans les communautés du monde entier. Et whereas the Rotary motto, Service above self, inspires members to provide humanitarian service, follow high ethical standards, and promote goodwill and peace in the world. Et tandis que le Rotary a lancé Polio Plus en 1985 et a contribué à lancer en 1988 l'initiative mondiale pour l'éradication de la polio qui inclut aujourd'hui l'Organisation mondiale de la santé, le Centre américain pour le contrôle des maladies, l'UNICEF et la Fondation Bill et Melinda Gates pour vacciner les enfants du monde entier contre la polio. Et whereas polio cases have dropped by 99.9% since 1988 and the world stands on the threshold of eradicating the disease, et attendu que le Rotary a apporté à ce jour plus de 2,1 milliards de dollars et d'innombrables heures de bénévolat à la vaccination de plus de 2,5 milliards d'enfants dans 122 pays. Et whereas Rotary is working to raise an additional $50 million per year, which would be leveraged for maximum impact by additional $100 million a year from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, et tandis que ces fonds servent à financer le soutien opérationnel, le personnel médical, l'équipement de laboratoire ainsi que le matériel de formation pour le personnel de santé et les parents. Whereas, in addition, Rotary has played a major role in decisions by donor governments to contribute more than $10 billion to the effort. Et attendu qu'il existe dans cette province près de 800 Rotariens répartis dans 30 clubs parrainant des actions visant à répondre à des problèmes critiques comme la pauvreté, la maladie, la faim, l'illettrisme et l'environnement au niveau local ou à l'étranger. Therefore, I, Paolo Fongemi, Mayor of the City of Bathurst, do hereby proclaim the 24th of October 2020 World Polio Day in Bathurst and encourage all citizens to join Rotary International and me in the fight for a polio-free world. And the next one, the Fung Loy Koch Institute of Taoism, 50th Anniversary, November 7, 2020. La proclamation pour le 50e anniversaire de l'Institut de Taoïsme Fung Loy Koch, le 7 novembre 2020. Attendu que 2020 marque le 50e anniversaire des arts Tai Chi taoïstes au Canada, lequel vise à promouvoir les pratiques les pratiques séculaires du taoïsme et à enrichir le bien-être mental, spirituel et physique. En effet, beaucoup de ceux qui pratiquent ces arts affirment que cette pratique favorise les liens sociaux et spirituels, soulage la douleur, diminue le stress et améliore la posture, la circulation et l'équilibre. Whereas 50 years ago, in 1970, Master Moy Lin Shin, a Taoist monk, began teaching the Taoist Chai Chai Pad in Toronto, Canada. Et tandis qu'à maintenant, l'Institut de Taoïsme Fung Loy Koch, avec ses organisations sœurs ailleurs dans le monde, a formé des instituteurs bénévoles pour offrir en continu la pratique Tai Chi taoïste pendant 50 ans et qu'aujourd'hui, il compte plus de 40 000 participants dans 26 pays, dont 11 016 participants et 1 200 instructeurs dans plus de 330 emplacements au Canada. Whereas Fung Loy Koch Institute of Taoism and its affiliates practice the Taoism Tai Chi hearts as a path to ultimate transformation, using the guiding principles of compassion, virtue, and wisdom in all we do. This practice works to alleviate pain and suffering to the individual, thereby reducing the financial burden on health services in the communities where Taoist Tai Chi practice is offered. Et attendu qu'il est approprié et convenable que le Canada, fort de la diversité de sa population, de son attachement aux cultures qui bougent ensemble, en harmonie, de sa volonté d'améliorer le bien-être de sa main-d'œuvre et de tous ses résidents, se réserve une journée pour reconnaître l'Institut de Taoïsme Fung Loy Koch dans ses efforts pour faire connaître ces arts qui ont pour but de promouvoir la santé et la richesse de la culture chinoise, ainsi que la compréhension et le respect entre les peuples. Now, therefore, I, Paolo Fongemi, Mayor of the City of Bathurst, do hereby proclaim November 7, 2020 as Tai Chi Arts' 50th Anniversary Day in Bathurst in recognition of the Fung Loy Koch's remarkable journey of 50 years. Councillor Hondas, for the adjournment of the meeting, please.
Thank you, Worship. I move that the regular public meeting adjourned at 8:36.
Do you have a second? Oui, excusez.
Que la séance ordinaire publique soit levée à 20h37.
Merci. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer la motion? Conseiller Willett, merci. Pour la question. Tous en faveur disent oui. Contre, motion adoptée. Je vous souhaite tous une bonne semaine. Everyone, I wish you all a good week. Thank you.